Hi all, welcome to Chemical Engineering Thermodynamics 2 class. So today we are going to solve a problem which is based on our previous class topics. That is, we saw refrigeration. In refrigeration, we saw Carnot cycle and vapor compression cycle. So today we are going to solve a frequently asked university problems based on the Carnot cycle and vapor compression cycle. So first we'll move to the first problem, which is a very simple problem which was asked for 15 marks in December 2009 paper. So if you see this question, you have been given with power, that is work done, which is 1 kilowatt, and the rate of refrigeration is 3 kilojoules per second. We need to find COP, that is coefficient of performance, heat rejected by the system. Heat rejected by the system is nothing but Q1, lowest temperature that the system can maintain. Lowest temperature is nothing but T2. Higher and the temperature which is at rejection is 308 Kelvin, which is T1. So in your question you are given with T1, and we need to find T2, and we need to find Q1 COP. Okay, so now we'll move to the problem. I have written the given data because our Q2 is nothing but heat absorption, that is rate of refrigeration. The heat absorption is nothing but rate of absorption because there the refrigeration is taking place. So Q2 will be equal to 3 kilojoule per second, which is given in the question. And the work done, that is power, is nothing but the work done, which is 1 kilowatt. So our first question is COP, that is coefficient of performance, which is equal to Q2 by W. We know what is Q2 and we know what is W, just substitution and getting the COP. And my second question is heat rejection, that is Q1. So we know W is equal to Q1 minus Q2. So Q1, from that formula we can get what is Q1. So my Q1 is 4 kilojoules per second. And we need to find the third question is what is the lowest possible temperature? Our lowest possible temperature, we have the correlation, that is Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2. We know all the values except the T2. So from this formula, we can calculate T2, which is a very simple problem. You can easily get around 13 marks from this problem. So all the problems in this unit is basically you need to predict which formula to be used and which method it is. If you find this out, then you will be getting a full marks for this problem. Kind of very easy problems in this unit. You will be having around 10 to 15 formula in entire unit. If you are very thorough with the 10 to 15 formula, you can solve any kind of problem in this unit. So we'll move to the next problem. This is the question which is asked in May 2011, 16, 2017. Okay, so we have the vapor compression refrigeration system. Okay, with ammonia as the working fluid, you are given with two temperature, that is T1 and T2. Your T1 is always the highest temperature and T2 is the lowest temperature. So from this, my T1 is 300 Kelvin and T2 is 266 Kelvin. T2 is always a lowest temperature. Okay, remember that. So we need to find COP with different conditions and COP of the Carnot refrigeration. Okay, so this is the given data. I didn't read the entire data of this question. Before reading this entire data, I just want to show you one thing, which is my cycle. In your question itself, it is clearly starts with the vapor compression refrigeration. So this problem is basically based on vapor compression refrigeration. So from this question itself, it is very clear. So I have taken the vapor compression process. Before going to the problem, I just want to tell you one thing. You have to be very clear about this point, then only you can do any sort of problems based on this vapor compression cycle. So this is my refrigerator. The output of this refrigerator, the output of this refrigerator is vapor. It is a complete vapor. Okay, this is a complete vapor. You can tell it is a saturated vapor also. When the saturated vapor is goes into the compressor, it will be coming out like a superheated vapor. Okay, when the superheated vapor gets into the condenser, it will be coming as a liquid, saturated liquid. So the same output here also. So always my A is the vapor, saturated vapor, B is the superheated vapor, and C is the liquid. D is also a liquid. You need to remember this thing. Then only you can easily identify which is HA, which is HB, which is HC, and which is HD. Okay, in this process, your HC is equal to HD. So that is also one point to be remembered. Okay, now we'll move to the question again. So from this, you just see the first question. Enthalpy of saturated vapor. Saturated vapor is nothing but HA. Okay, I'm marking A as 1. Okay, and enthalpy of superheated vapor, leaving compressor. Leaving compressor, which is 2, that is nothing but B, HB. You are having a compressor, compressor இருந்து வெளியே வருதுதான் நம்மளோட superheated vapor. So that is HB. Okay, and enthalpy of saturated liquid is nothing but HC. So see, I written like 3. Okay, we have HA, HB, and HC. Okay, so these are the data given in the question, your first question. Okay, so HA is given, HB is given, HC is given, which is also equal to HD. So we know the COP formula for vapor compression cycle. Just substitute all the values in this equation and get the answer. Okay, your first question is done. Now go back to your second question. The same COP if temperature approach 5 Kelvin is necessary in the evaporator. Okay, if you want to increase, then the efficiency of the compressor will be decreased to 75%. Okay, your efficiency will be decreased, and you are also given with the different enthalpy values at this temperature. Again, we will be starting. Saturated vapor is nothing but A. So this is HA. Superheated vapor is nothing. Superheated vapor is nothing but your B, that is 2, and saturated liquid is nothing but C. C is also equal to D. Here the efficiency is decreased to 75% due to the increase in the temperature. So that is to be remembered. If the efficiency is not given, it is assumed like it is 100% efficient. So in this question, HA is given, HB is given, HC is also given, HD, HC is equal to HD. So which is equal to 159. Okay, so we know the formula for COP, and the efficiency it is given like 75%. Okay, efficiency is given like 75%. So now I want to find the COP. Just substitute everything in this formula and you'll be getting the COP for the second question. Okay, my third question is nothing but it is simply a Carnot engine. What will be the COP? So my COP formula for Carnot engine is T2 by T1 minus T2. T2 is the lowest temperature. Don't forget at any time. T2 is the lowest temperature. T1 is the highest temperature. So in the question itself, it is given 300 and 266. I'm just substituting everything in this equation and I'm getting the COP value for Carnot engine. So this is about my second question, which is a very repeated question in the university. Now we'll move to the third problem, that is vapor compression cycle. In this problem itself, it is very clearly given like vapor compression cycle. If it is not given only, you need to find which this problem it comes under which category. If it is given, it is very easy. So you can directly use the formula in the vapor compression cycle. So it is very clear, it is a vapor compression cycle using ammonia as refrigerant. Okay, it is the ice manufacturing plant. In ice manufacturing plant, we have cooling water and ammonia. Okay, cooling water which is enters at 288 Kelvin, and the rate of the cooling water is 0.25 kg per second, which leaves at 300 Kelvin. So you are given with the entering temperature and leaving temperature and the flow rate. Okay, mass flow rate. And ammonia. Okay, ammonia, it is a temperature of 294 Kelvin and it condenses at the rate. It is given condenses. It is happening a condensation process and the rate is given. And here also the enthalpy of liquid ammonia. So liquid ammonia is nothing but what is that? It is C. Okay, liquid ammonia is C. So HC is given, and the compressor efficiency is also given. It is not 100%, it is only 90%. And saturated ammonia, which is at enthalpy. Saturated ammonia vapor is nothing but A. So A and C is given in the question. HA and HC is given in the question. we need to find the power requirement, which is nothing but W, and the refrigeration capacity in terms of tons. Okay, so this is a given question. Now we'll see the solution. First, we need to find the Q1. Q1 is nothing but it talks about the cooling water. Okay, it talks about the cooling water. So it doesn't give any data about it, but you are given with the flow rate and the temperature difference. What it is entering and what it is leaving. So my m dot c, that is the flow rate, is 0.25. It is given in the question. We know the specific heat of water. It is a cooling water, 4.184. It can be round off as 4.2, and del T is nothing but the temperature difference. You are given with 288 and 300 Kelvin. So the difference of these two is 12. So this is my Q1. Okay, we have a Q2. We have the formula for Q2. We know what is HA and what is HC. HC is also equal to HD. So we know HA and HD. So, and the flow rate is also given. So using this formula, you can find what is Q2. Okay, we need the power requirement. So for that, we are finding out W, that is work done. W is equal to Q1 minus Q2. Just subtract these two things, you'll be getting kilojoules per hour. But the compressor efficiency is not 100%, it is only 90%. So it is converted for 90%. You are getting out 3.4 kilowatt, and it can be converted to the horsepower. Okay, now I want to find the refrigeration capacity. Refrigeration capacity, which will be at the bottom, which is nothing but the Q2. So I am taking Q2 value. Okay, the unit of this is kilojoule per second. I want in terms of ton. In order to convert it into ton, we need to convert this first into kilojoule per hour. So I am converting this into kilojoule per hour into 3600. Now kilojoule per hour to ton. So 1 kilojoule per 1 ton is equal to 12,660 kilojoule per hour. So I'm just dividing with 12,660. So 2.71 tons. Okay, it is a very simple problem. If you know the concept and if you know to find out which term it is and what formula to be used, then you can easily score marks, and it won't take much time to solve also. You can finish the problem within 5 to 10 minutes. So you can spend the time in other chapters also when you're writing your Anna University examination. So this is my fourth problem, and of course it is the last problem also. So this was asked in May 2013 and May 2012. So in this question also it is very clearly mentioned it is a vapor compression refrigeration. Okay, in term it is given like instead of temperature it is given in terms of pressure, and the heat transfer rate in the condenser is 72 kilojoule per minute. Okay, condenser means there the heat reject is taking place. Heat reject is nothing but Q1. Okay, this is my Q1. And heat absorbed in the evaporator, which is Q2, which is kilojoule per hour. Here you need to note down one thing. Here it is kilojoule per minute. Here it is kilojoule per hour. You need to convert it into kilojoule per minute or kilojoule per hour. Okay, always have everything in one unit so that you can avoid some mistakes in your problem. Okay, now refrigerant vapor leaves the vapor in saturated state. Okay, now we need to find refrigerant flow rate, which should be in kg per minute. So we can convert everything in terms of kg per minute. Okay, first thing, if it is not given like this, you can have it in kg per hour or kg per minute based on your convenience. Okay, and next, energy input to the compressor. What is energy input to the compressor? Compressor where we will sub we will give the external work to the compressor. So the energy input here they are mentioning it as a work input. Okay, and the COP of the system. Again, you have been given with the enthalpy value. What is saturated vapor? It is nothing but the A. So HA is given. And what is saturated liquid? C, which is also equal to D. So HC is equal to HD. So you are given with A, C, D. Okay, so these are the things which is given in the question. Okay, and one more thing, in all this question, it is not given like expansion engine. If your question is given with expansion engine, then your HC will not be equal to HD. If it is not given anything about it, you can assume like it is a throttling process. So in throttling process, HC is equal to HD. Okay, now we'll move to the problem. Again, here a diagram for your it is for your uh, understanding. Okay, you are given with Q1 and Q2, which is in kilojoule per hour. So I'm converting into kilojoule per minute. and HA is given, HC is equal to HD, which is also given. Okay. First, I want to find the refrigerant flow rate. So refrigerant flow rate, it will be here. Okay, so my Q2 will be equal to m dot into HA minus HD. We know everything. We know Q2, we know HA, we know HD. So if you substitute everything, you'll be getting your m dot. Okay, as I told earlier, energy input to the compressor is nothing but the external work. So my work will be equal to Q1 minus Q2. We know what is the value of Q1, we know what is the value of Q2. So if I substitute everything, I'll be getting kilojoule per minute. We usually denote a work done in terms of kilowatt or horsepower. So I just converted into kilowatt. It is kilojoule per second is nothing but kilowatt. Okay. So this is about the energy input to the compressor. And finally, coefficient of performance of the system, that is COP, which is equal to Q2 by W, which is equal to 53.33. That is what we got it here, Q2 and W. Just substitution. Here it is kilojoule per minute, so I have substituted W also in terms of kilojoule per minute. So my COP will be equal to 2.857. So all the problems is as easy as this. It is everything is asked for 13 marks and 16 marks also in the other regulations. So please do all the problems, try to solve all the university problems. If you have any doubt, you can call me at any time. Okay. So with this, I am completing today's class. So thank you very much for your patience. And in tomorrow's class, we'll see the other two topics, that is gas refrigeration cycle and the liquefaction process. Okay, thank you all.